5 lights and away we go. I think everybody got a decent start there.
That's an insane start from Koushik. Exactly what he would have wanted. Oh, RB Ferraro, he just sneaked onto the inside and he has to P2. Eccentric sending down the inside on Oxygen, and Oxygen is coming back alongside, putting his wheels, and he's side by side going around the outside. And I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has got the move. Oh, still there side by side, but it's got the inside line.
Hello and welcome to round 9 of IRC Tier-1 race. I am joined with Hafizat King in the comms box along with Shock who will be the streamer for today. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, doing good.
Hi. Hi Helium, what's up? And I'm doing well as well. Can't wait for the race.
Yep, it should be an interesting one. Always been an interesting track for streamers in IRL at least. Especially the last one, and I won't say much about that. But coming to the virtual race, I should mention that the track has changed a lot as compared to the track that was before. We have had many key changes here. We'll get into that a little bit later. So anything you want to add to the introduction of the drivers or anything with the track, Hafizat?
No, nothing apart from the main track changes that are on the new map, and I think that has helped racing here at Abu Dhabi, and it's much easier to follow cars as well now. So it's gonna be fun to see these guys actually go wheel to wheel, at least to the first 2 sectors, and then follow closely to the 3rd sector. So yeah.
Yep, very long straights in the first 2 sectors, very technical turning. Curvy track through the 3rd sector. Obviously, the cars, as the new regulation has made them very easy to follow each other, but still you need to be very good to be able to follow very closely so that you can make the overtakes in the 1st and 2nd sector. As for the changes, as soon as we get to the track introduction, I'll give you the details. But as of now, we will just wait for all the drivers to get into the lobby. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, while we wait, I think let's just kind of discuss a bit more about Abu Dhabi. I think Abu Dhabi has been the final track of every single year that it's been in Formula One, right? It's been the finale, and started from 2010, if I'm not wrong.
2009.
2009. Okay, then I got that wrong. Right. So yeah, again, 2009 is a pretty good year for Braun. And again, they won the entire championship, both the constructors and the drivers. And but I famously remember 2010 being the interesting race because of all the factors on the track with Alonso, Webber, Hamilton, Vettel, and the fact that DRS wasn't introduced on this track at the time. So overtaking was all the while harder, which made basically Vettel's win a bit more easier.
Yep, the lack of DRS made Alonso stuck behind Petrov for around 20 to 30 laps, if I remember. And we got to hear the famous words, "Du bist Weltmeister," for Vettel, who won his first championship there. So, yeah, it was a very interesting championship, including like around 4 drivers who could have won it at the last race. Or 3, I'm not sure actually. But yeah, it's been the deciding race in many seasons, including Hamilton Rosberg in 2016, obviously Alonso and Vettel in 2010, last year 2021 Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been a very interesting race for IRL. Obviously, it's been very interesting for virtual as well. I don't think we've had a funny sport race here, but we have had many IRC races here. And if I remember correctly, I actually don't know. I actually don't remember how well the races went. But yeah, let's go to the track vid and let's go to the changes of the tracks. Okay, so there are around 16 corners here. There's changes through many corners. Turn 7, the hairpin has been changed to a very wide-in hairpin. And they have removed the turns from 11 to 14 and converted into a long turn. And there always also has been the radius of the corners from 17 to 20 has been increased so that the cars can follow very easily.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the key features here that's helped the track a lot because, again, having more of those extended corners throughout this generally, good track helps you try to go for a move or helps you set up a move for the next turn essentially. So yeah, it's a pretty decent track from this year onwards.
Yep, it's very interesting for overtakes and all because I feel like the track before it had only one overtake opportunity. Well, two. That was either in turn 10 and 11, turn and 10 and 12, the ones after the DRS straights.
Mhm.
So yeah, now I feel like the cars can follow very easily. And let's move on to the hot lap as well, if we have it. So that was a great lap by Blacksheep, our Williams driver this season. As we see that we've already entered quali, and no surprises, it's a clear dry track. Obviously, no rain in Abu Dhabi. Never seen it. Either never seen it in virtual. So, what do you think about the lap by Blacksheep?
Yeah, I think it was a good lap. I think with Abu Dhabi, more focus has to go on your throttle management and how quickly you can get on throttle without having to suffer from wheel spin. I think that's more important here with your hot laps rather than just taking, rather than extending your corners.
Yep. And we see that Moto has done a scorching lap and he's ahead by 6 tenths. I am not able to see the text very clearly, but yeah, he seems to be ahead of Black Sheep with a 23.6.
Yeah.
And we only have 10 drivers today, so and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on the stream, but there's a guy named Mike Crack.
Yeah, well, I think he's just trying to support Aston Martin at this stage. Regardless, I will just call him Mike from now on.
Yeah, but who the hell is it? Is it Axel or Baba?
No.
Eight cylinder.
Oh, okay.
Eight cylinder.
It's Axel.
Yep.
Right.
Wait, do I see that there's a rear wing damage?
Well, oh wait, is it actually simulation damage? Okay, right. Well,
The
let's
wing does not
Akash.
look damaged, but it is damaged. That's very
Well,
weird.
if he's gonna lose some downforce points because of it, then Akash Sonaman race or qualifying is over at the stage of quali because again there's no way to fix rear wing damage if I'm not right.
No, it's okay now. Can you go back to Akash? No,
Nope,
it's
it's
not.
still
Okay,
broken.
never mind.
It will be broken for the entire race because you can't really fix the rear wing. Right. So if I understand that Eitzel is trying to be funny here, but it's gonna be very easy to ignore Mike Crack because it's Eitzel driving right now. So there's really anything gonna happen there. With regards to Motor's lap, I think it's quite a beautiful lap. It's a 123.5, if I'm not wrong, or 123.6. And you can see that Motor has been pushing in the past few races, and he's evidently got more pace compared to Blacksheep. But again, Blacksheep hasn't validated his lap, and he's getting ready for his final run through the last few corners. He's going to start using his ERS now, and he's trying to get a better exit, a sharper entry into turn 1, and now ends up moving probably up shifts into 5th, 6th gear, maintains speed and momentum with the track, takes insufficient curbing on the right, but ends up losing some speed towards the left. I think he could have taken a bit more speed through the left-hand curbs, but decides not to do so. I think he's just trying to be a bit more careful with his movements at this stage of the race. What do you think, Helium?
Yeah, it's only the second lap. I think he might have made mistakes in the first lap, so he's just trying to keep it clean, although he is yellow in the first sector. So that's not a good sign. He should be pushing now. You will see that by the end of the second sector how much he has improved. That is a green, and that is not a lot of improvement. No, actually he's up on the time from Moto. So he's half a tenth up on Moto. So that is a lot of improvement. Seems I think he made a lot of mistakes in sector 2 maybe, I don't know. As he's going through. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Helium. I think that's probably he's up on his time by 500ths of a second.
okay, that could be true.
If he was up on Motor's time, then he will have a focus sector there. Yep,
that is true. Okay, so he did a 23.8, so that's not exactly a bad lap. So yeah, but he's still 2 tenths away, at least 1.5 tenths away from Motor. So he does have a lot of pushing to do through the first sector at least, because that was obviously a yellow.
Lokesh. Is Lokesh actually on a fast lap right now? He looks to be having a proper sector 1 at this stage. And Assassin's disqualified from the session, blocking the pit lane. I wonder what happened there. Could you take a look?
Yeah, he just spun out. And Aradhya Gupta retired. What is happening?
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure. But it looks like out of our 10
driver
quality.
Aradhya, it looks like he got DNF in the pit lane itself. And how many times?
That was too close. That was too close for comfort there for Lokesh. 2 purple sectors. I don't know if that's correct or not. We will see at the end of the lap, and it is really not. He's 6 tenths off.
Sector. It's saying that's the last sector that was the worst for him, apparently. Yeah. But I don't think the first 2 purple sectors were correct. But
okay, so this is Moto going on the lap. He already has pole right now, and he does the purple sector according to in-game as well. So he's 1.5 tenths up on his time. That's a very good improvement for a second push lap. So we already have 2 drivers out of the qualifying. Funniest part is every single of these drivers will get points even if they finish 3 laps, 4 laps behind the leader. So let's see how the qualifying pans out. Interesting thing that I wanted to point out is the championship leader that right now we have SD is not racing for the next two races. So I think that really blows wide open the championship for Moto and Blacksheep. Blacksheep more because I think Blacksheep is P2. Moto has been pushing very hard in the last few races to cover up the gap. I don't know. Okay, that was not an invalidation. The racing gods are. And he is going through the last corner. He goes a little wide on the apex, gets a very good exit, and that is a 23-3.
That's actually a pretty decent lap. I think the track is evolving better as well right now. But I still feel like there is more for Motor to offer there. I think there's still two, three tenths that he can extract more out of his lap times. And that's just gonna happen if he gets one perfect. And we see again, Richard just come in. But yeah, I think the important thing to note, okay, Eitzel is up on his time. He's just setting up. Let's see how far up can he get. P3 for Eitzel is pretty good time as well.
Yep.
Right, yeah, that
he has a new name. He has a good driving style. He's trying to be better. He's trying to get into the top two, the very elite drivers, Motor and Blacksheep. If he does get a podium this race, I suggest that he should keep his name for the rest of the season at least. So maybe that is the luck that he needs.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't take it so serious with that helmet that he has on. He's got a fish helmet on his face.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, the customization on this game is a little vast here, so yeah, I guess Excel is using all of it. But it matches his McLaren quite well. I have to say the color matches it very well.
Yeah. I wish you hadn't pointed that out right now. That's all I can see. Okay, Blacksheep invalidated his last push lap, so he might have to go into the pits and get into the last new software that he has. Yeah, let's go on board a driver who's on a lap.
I mean, Akash Taramani currently has still, it looks like he's rear wing damage, but it doesn't look like by the time he's putting up, because if he had rear wing damage, I would assume he'd be a bit more slower than 1 second. But yeah, it just still feels like the car is still listening to him, is still under his control. So I think that could be a glitch within the system. But then
that's what I'm hoping.
Again, Akash gets a yellow sector. That's not bad, but it's not great as well. Let's hope Akash can get a better sector too. He's trying his best to keep his pace up to these next few corners. He's gonna have to maintain a proper entry into the next turn to get a better exit out of there as well. I believe he could have taken the apex a little bit more there just to get a better exit out of the corners. But again, I think traction is what he's focusing on, and traction is what he's trying to gain at this stage. And it looks like he's gotten purple sector too, which is good news if it is actually picked.
Yeah, maybe the broken rear wing is helping him in the straight lines, but making his downforce making his rear end might, if that's actually damaged, then his rear end might be very except whatever he's putting through the car.
And Akash goes P3. Wow.
That is a glitch. For sure a glitch.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is a very decent lap. And Akash looks to have a good setup here on today. But I think this is the stage where we can see the track evolution. Oh, and King James was on actually a good lap himself as well until he spun at the very end of Sector 3. And that completely turned any contention from King James at this stage. Maybe he can come out quickly with a new pair of tires, but this is one chance for our drivers to start coming out now for the one final push lap. Logesh is trying his best. He's coming out now with fresh socks, I can imagine. Akash Sanavan is still on the track, so pretty sure by the end of this out lap, Akash Sanavan won't be able to go for another lap. So that's it from Akash. Blacksheep is currently on his out lap, and so is Motomoto. I assume it's coming out. Even though the gap seems a little high, if I was in Moto's shoes, I would try to come out. Well, let's see if Akash actually goes for another push lap. No, I don't think so. He is because he's got no ERS left, so he'll probably go in pit. What do you think, Helium? Can Akash actually make it out to the pits in time?
Yeah, no, that I don't think that's very possible because it's around 20 to 25 seconds until you get out the pits, and the pit exit is very long. As it goes under the racetrack, so that seems impossible. But let's see if track corner cutting can help him.
And it looks like Simply is currently in the pits as well. So Simply is not really interested in putting any time out for the team. And Akash Sarwani is, of course, retires, considering the fact that he had to. Okay, and Simply's out as well. But I think it's a bit too late for Simply. He won't be able to put in a lap, and neither would King James. But let's move ahead on to our track leader, our collie leader, Moto.
Yep, provisional pole position for now. Let's see how he does. Exiting on the last corner, taking a very wide exit, and he crosses the line. And Blacksheep has a movement but does not invalidate his lap. He does let off the throttle, so I think that's over for him. Yep, it's the other first sector.
Yeah, and he's 6/10 off his previous lap, so that's not gonna. Oh, and Black Sheep spins as well.
Yeah.
That's probably it for Black Sheep. But let's see if we can move on to Moto, and let's see if Moto can actually improve on his line things. And Moto
Look,
goes wide.
okay, I don't know what is happening, but everyone is trying to put the laps in, but they're not able to. Let's see what Eitzel can do in the fish helmet.
By that point, can we move on to Logesh? Because I feel like Logesh is just about to end his fast lap.
Okay, so looks like he has a purple sector 2. Does not have a good purple sector 1. That was very good apex on the last corner. And he goes P2. He goes ahead of Black Sheep and Black Sheep cannot put another lap in. So that is definitive P2 as of now. Let's see what Eitzel can do. Eitzel is 600ths off of his last time and he gets a snap. And yeah, that is the main problem of that corner. He does not get an invalidation though, so he's still going. Let's see if there's an improvement. Jumps over the curve, goes wide. He's just playing with the track limits right now, and he goes into the pits.
And this gives Rijin the chance to go up to P4, which is pretty decent result considering that possibly Eitzel could have gotten a better time out of that scenario. And again, as mentioned, King, James, and Simply were unable to set up a lap. So yeah, they will be returning back to the pits in their position. So yeah, that was a fantastic quali in the end. I think Logesh was very close to, spoiling Moto's days. Unfortunately for Moto, his first time was his best, and it worked out quite well for him.
Yep, and we see that 4 drivers at the set times, including SSJ, who is qualified.
Sure, could we quickly catch the race director? Yeah, and the incident. Thank you. Could you rerun the telemetry for the same round number because Propi has joined the lobby?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're back on the racetrack. Does not seem realistic time. I think it was supposed to be night time, but it seems to be at the day. Okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, the race starts as a dusk during dusk actually, and eventually it will end by night time. This is what is the realistic time. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. And we will see. We're going to take a short break of 2 minutes, and we're going to come back as soon as the drivers start ready up and are on the grid. Okay, the drivers are on the
Yep.
track. It's 5 lights, and away we go. Logesh gets a very good launch of the start. I think he overtakes Moto. Yes, he does. He goes into P1, and Moto follows him through. We see an Aston Martin diving inside on the inside of Blacksheep, and he takes P3 from Blacksheep. So, and we have an incident at the back between SSJ and King James. Going through turn 4, we see Blacksheep retaking the podium position from Ridgen, and they're still squabbling there. And I think we have a straight line of drivers now. So why don't you take over after?
Yeah, definitely. You can see Logesh just got Motomoto sleeping on that. And I'll see with Black Sheep just gets a beautiful move done on Ridger around the outside of turn 5. An amazing move because he gets the inside line for the next corner. Ridgen can do anything about that. It was a spectacular move by Black Sheep. But yes, I think Motomoto got caught sleeping there because Logesh just got a fantastic exit and is now commanding the lead. And now the important part here is that Logesh needs to maintain his ERS, needs to manage his tires well enough, and he'll have a clean race, as to say. But and we see Normal Profi go wide, and Akash Sonawani gets another move done, and again Akash is currently on those hard tires, and Normal Profi is on those medium, so we might see Normal Profi actually soon go. It looks like there Normal Profi has damage, so I think he was involved in some sort of issue with the other drivers at the start of the race, and that has completely affected all 3 of these drivers at this stage. King James has not pitted.
Yeah, can we go on board King James with see if he has damage actually? Nope.
No, he
somehow
does not.
survived, yeah.
Yeah, somehow he survived. Either he was lucky, or I will say a bit unlucky because he had spun out without damage. If it wasn't his fault, then yeah, that is a little unlucky. But we see again, Excel just go for a move on simply around the outside, simply just tries to defend it, but Excel has that inside line and not squeezes, but takes command of that corner, and quite miraculously gets the move done. Again, a similar move, but again, he's going to fight it around the outside into the next turn, and simply braking late. Excel doesn't want to challenge that right now. He just wants to get a better exit into the next few corners, but this is sector 3. It's going to be very difficult for Excel to go for a move here, and it's just getting very spicy between these 3 drivers right now. Simply Excel and Arad here got amazing level of racing at this stage. And Logesh sets the fastest lap of 127.6. Currently the fastest on the track, and this is something I didn't notice. Logesh has started his race on the medium tires, which quite frankly explains why he got that amazing launch of the line, and is now leading at the stage and is creating a gap of 1.4. And that's good news for Logesh because he'll need to work hard on those medium tires to get that gap on Motomoto. But again, Normal Profi, we're back on him. He's on the hard tires. He's got 7 seconds.
Wing damage again, once again. Yes, wing damage. This time it's the right wing that has been clipped. It's good for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that looks like it. Vanarazia goes for a move on Eitzel, and it looks like Eitzel is a little out of form as he's just gotten overtaken by Arathia. But again, and simply spins out. He loses. And because of that, Eitzel has a bit of how do I say this? A mishap with his throttle inputs, trying to avoid the AlphaTauri of Simply YT, but and we see a Blacksheep spin out as well. It looks like Sector 3 is not being kind to our drivers here at IRC. It just seems like their drivers are pushing the car way too much in some of these corners, and the rear end just gives up mid corner, and there's really nothing drivers can do to save it unless they catch it as quickly as they can. So surviving right now is more important than being fast, at least at this stage of the race.
Yes, definitely. And the most important thing for this is the setup that they are using. So the tire temps that they have at this moment is going to be crucial. We're not sure what temps or what pressure they're running on, but I would say it's the front has to be minimum. The front has to be minimum to be able to survive here. Yeah.
Definitely, and we see Sir Assassin go for the fastest lap again. Assassin is currently on the soft tire, so he will have better grip compared to Logesh at this stage of the race. I wonder what Assassin is hoping for with the soft tires. I think he's just hoping to catch up as quickly as he can to Akash Sarwani and try to return some of that favor. But yes, simply, and we see another car spin. Vision. I see a lot of people are spinning right here, maybe facing a lot of trouble with their traction, or facing some issue with the wheel spin, but that seems like a costly mistake to make here in Yas Marina today. Okay, again, looking at the positions changed, it looks like Anand Gupta is one of the few drivers to have an amazing luck, or has had amazing show of skill because he's gained 7 positions in the matter of 5 laps, and he's up in P3 at this stage. Logesh gained 1 position at the start, while Motomoto just lost 1. But we'll see these two fight once again later in the race. Blacksheep losing 2 positions, Rishan losing 4, Akash losing 4 as well. And here we have on board Simply YT currently fighting King James and Blacksheep, something that I wouldn't imagine seeing here today. And Simply looks like he's a little slow here. Oh, and we see contact between Black Sheep and King James. Looks like a very feisty fight between these two. And I think King James is just getting way more aggressive than he should be. And this gives chance to Simply for trying to sneak a move on the inside. But I think King James will be blocking Simply's line into the next turn, which will make it harder. Oh, and Simply still tries to go for it. King James still in there, and so is Black Sheep, and Black Sheep again fighting Simply quite aggressively. Both of them managed to get close to each other, but there's no contact as at this moment. This fight is getting ever so spicy. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I
again,
think so.
yeah. Any comments on that, ABD?
Oh, that was really just too close to what I had no words. I was so busy, like concentrated on the race. But what we can see here is like Moto is able to close the gap on Logesh as of now, even on those hards. So the most surprising thing is that he got 3-second time penalty within the first 2 laps. So that was something quite odd from him. But I think he did get a first warning in the first sector itself that during the race start. But yeah, somehow did manage to get the 3-second time penalty. Let's see how the penalty goes out for him.
Yeah, let's hope Moto, if that is, well, I don't think it is it's any irregular penalty. I think it's probably track limits that caused that. So let's hope Moto can make up for that later in the race. But it looks like he's getting faster compared to Logesh. And again, we see Simply and just Black Sheep and King James.
Yeah, can we go
ever
on
so
board
close.
Blacksheep now? Blacksheep is about to make a move on King James with the DRS on him, and yeah, somehow King James managed to block the. He just moved out of this racing line to be able to cover the part, and now King James is gonna take this position for the lap. So we're gonna have to wait for the next DRS overtake probably. Somehow King James got ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when I was looking at Black Sheep's inputs, it felt like Black Sheep faced a bit of a oversteer coming out of the second last corner and had to lift off to ensure that he didn't spin out. I think Black Sheep was one of the drivers who just spin out there in sector 3. That's why he's being careful right now at this stage with those corners. So he just doesn't want to risk it, and he knows that he'll have the benefit of DRS in the first corner. And we see Noah Propi spin once again. It's devastating for Nova Probius. He's already 34 seconds behind everyone, or how do I say this, 56 seconds behind everyone. And now just in a world of pain. But again, Moto gets a good line on, a good exit out of the corner. And because the move down on Lokesh on the outside, but Lokesh just keep on fighting. He's still trying to maintain his line into turns 7, but unfortunately, there's nothing he can do as Moto just had the better racing line and had more grip compared to Lokesh at this stage, who seems to have used a lot of his tires and can't keep up with Moto. And simply here, getting again ever so close to Blacksheep, but unfortunately unable to make a move. It looks like this is a train of sorts, a DRS train, and King James gets another penalty and simply almost collect himself quite well, but almost spins there. A pretty good save from Simply YT there.
Yeah, he did mount the curb really more than we had to. And from the tire data, I think Logesh has about 35% of tire wear. So yeah, those medians are really worn out, and we can see Moto creating that gap interval now. And once he's able to, okay, we have a yellow flag, and that is Mike Crack going down the position. He few cuts the whole chicane, and I think he spun there. I'm not sure
Luckily,
how you can spin there, but yeah,
yeah, luckily he doesn't have any damage. It
no
looked like
damage.
it was very close to the wall, so yeah, luckily he doesn't have any damage. I wonder how dead those tires might be because of that. But again, it looks like it's just unfortunate for Mike Crack, but he's gotten himself inserted into this fight between Blacksheep, Simply, King James, and again 8 Soul now, because he's gotten himself inserted into this 3-man fight and now has to do all the work again.
Yep, and we might see Regin joining the battle soon too, since like King James is able to hold these people, slow down them a bit, and yeah, Regin might join them soon. We are in lap 9, and the pit window for the mediums would be around lap 12. So that is where Lokesh and I believe Akash will have to pit for the hard there. Somehow Lokesh manages to be in the DRS zone of Moto, and yeah, he's gonna get the double DRS now. Uh,
Yeah, and he's just spreading on to the DRS of Moto at this stage. You can see how close he tends to get at times, but how far away he is through some of those corners, because the sheer level of grip that Moto has at this stage of the race is quite more than what Logesh has to offer now, and he's just 1.2 tenths back. No, and we see Blacksheep just getting ever so close to King James, but it just looks like there's not overtake coming over to Blacksheep in those 2 corners. But now he has a good run on Blacksheep. He's got DRS. Is he going to go for a move on the inside? Outside, he tries to go for a dummy. And again, King James defends the outside line, and Blacksheep just takes that move down quite sensationally well. It was an amazing move by Blacksheep. It was all or nothing from him right there and there, then and there. And again, King James just getting a little bit more feisty here. Again, King James defending quite well, but let's see if he's going to attack Blacksheep that well enough. He's been managing his ERS and has some of it reserved just for Blacksheep, and might get his chance down into turns 5. And again, he's just doing his best to keep himself as close to Blacksheep as he can. We've seen how superior his straight line speed was in past few laps. He's been keeping his straight line speed. He's been keeping himself in fighting contention even when Blacksheep had DRS. So that probably proves how quick he is in the straights. And now we'll see all of that straight line effect pop up here as Blacksheep now has to defend against King James, but King James is not really using his ERS. He's saving it for the next corner, because he's going to do the same thing that Blacksheep did to him in the previous lap. Again, Blacksheep now has the chance to use his ERS, still somehow is reserving it. I'm not sure why, but it looks like Blacksheep is no longer interested. It looks like King James is no longer interested in fighting Blacksheep at this stage of the race. He's probably interested in keeping himself close and hoping that Blacksheep gets to use all of his reserve ERS in hopes to get an easy move done later down the line. What do you think about that, ABD?
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna need more than 45% of ERS because first thing is that you cannot go below 30%, and if you're just using your 15% and you're unable to make the move, then it's just a waste of ERS, and you'll have to probably wait for 2 or 3 laps more for it to be regenerated. Meanwhile, what happened on the front pack is Propi was able to give DRS to Moto, and that created a comparatively more gap for between Moto and Lokesh. Right now, the gap is 2.4 seconds, but now we will be giving the DRS to Lokesh at this moment, and Sir SSA gets 3 second time penalty for exceeding the track. That's his first 3 seconds for today.
Yeah, it looks like you're right about that again. Moto just extending that gap, trying to do his best to see if he can get that 3 seconds rightfully taken care of at this stage of the race. One less thing for him to worry about.
Let's talk about the damage that Akash has. Do you think this is going to affect his performance throughout the race? I am not sure if it is going to affect the performance throughout his race, but we'll have to ask him if we do get a chance. So we are on board King James right now, who has been sitting on the back of Blacksheep for about a couple of laps right now, and we are into lap 13. Like once they cross the finish line, somehow King James is able to manage the delta. There's nothing to differentiate these two drivers right now apart from the DRS gain they get. Still, King James is yet to regenerate the DRS he has. He's still on 57%. Moto creating a huge gap. He was able to gain about a second over Lokesh. So yeah, like I said, the pit window for the mediums is lap 12, and I think Logesh should be pitting right now if he doesn't want to lose more time to Moto.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there, ABD. I think this is probably the time and space Lokesh has to think about a strategy, and he needs to think about the time he's going to lose staying out on those mediums right there. So it's going to be more important for Lokesh to come out and probably gain a bit more time on Moto, or try to gain a bit more time on Moto by the end of this. But it does look like Moto is in a zone of his own right now, and he's building up a massive gap compared to what Lokesh has to offer at this stage. Again, with Black Sheep, he's now forming the part of the DRS chain, which is Black Sheep, King James, Simply, and again, hey, it's
I'm sorry, Itzel.
yeah, yeah. I'm partially hating Eitzel for using that, because every single time I look at that, I have to start thinking, oh, who is this now? And yeah, it's. I hope he gets the commentator skills this game.
Surprisingly, no more Propi was able to run those softs for 9 laps. That I wonder what color or where he had. I'm not sure. He moves to the hards right now, and that should be it for him if he's able to, keep the car on track and not get wing damage there. And Lokesh just decided to pit and goes for hards. He did wait for the safety car, probably was hoping that there would be a safety car. But no, they should be waiting for. Oh, that was really
What?
close there.
How is?
And how did Arathia get here?
I think that's a glitch. But
No,
I think that's
Arathia is
Akash
there.
Vinod.
I think Moto's
Did you
fun.
miss
I
out?
think Moto's fun.
Oh wow, Moto's fun.
Okay.
Well, then this
Because
gives
Arathia
Lokesh.
Indian, so
Yeah, and this gives Lokesh the best chance he's got, because now when Moto pits, Lokesh will be far ahead of Moto. This is gonna make things more complicated for Moto
We have
right
a yellow
now.
flag and it's Aston Martin's fun. Okay, unsafe rejoin maybe, I don't know. But yup, King James it is. How many times did he spin here? We'll have to put a counter for it's the second or third time that Aston Martin has fun there. We are on board Moto now, who will be definitely looking to get that position back. He's down to 14% of ERS, and his tires are comparatively better in the as a matter of tire wear, if you're speaking. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
this
definitely
is a very
comparing.
good chance for Lokesh to really push the first few laps so that he can.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. And Moto goes for a move on Aradhya right there. He's gotten the move done. Quite simple, and Aradhya doesn't fight it because Moto just had more straight line pace. But Aradhya now has ERS and DRS compared to what Moto has. Moto has nothing left in the tank right now. And he's doing as best as he can. But will Aradhya go for a sneaky move? Will he be able to break late? No, he does not. He decides to restrain himself a bit more here with Moto. But comparatively on raw pace, it just looks like Moto is able to extract more time out of it. Alpha Tauri, it just looks like Moto is destined to get that P1 at this stage, but we will find out more once the pit stops start popping up and once we start seeing the effect of Moto spin on this race. It's going to be a big one, though. That's for sure.
Yep. They should be entering the and I feel like that spin has 10 times more difficult with the idea.
Yeah, I'm so.
I think Helium's voice is breaking up a bit.
Yeah, Helium, your voice is breaking up a bit. It's very soft right now, and it's still breaking as well. I'll just. Yeah, it's still happening a little. It's better, but it's still happening.
Okay, you guys take over. I'll just leave.
Okay. While we're on board Aradhya now, Aradhya is getting closer to Moto here again. ERS on his side as well, and now he'll have DRS. But Moto just seems to have that sheer straight line speed, and also ends up getting a better exit. But now he's under pressure from Aradhya. Will Aradhya go for a move again? No, he still refrains. It seems like a replay of last lap as well. But again, Moto just has that excellent traction control, or sorry, control on his traction right now, that he's not getting any wheel spin coming out of that one corner, and everyone is unable to match that right now. Can we actually go on board Moto and see how much his ERS is? Because yeah, he's training a lot of it right now. Every single lap he's on some form of energy recovery system. So yeah, it looks like Moto will unfortunately have some issues with Aradhya in the next few laps, and this is going to be very important for two more reasons, because Moto will have less to give in his outlap when he pits for those new mediums, and that will be a little difficult for Moto to manage. But it looks like Moto now has a how far back is Logesh? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 seconds behind Moto. So there will be a bit of a gap once Moto comes out that he'll have to work around with. And the fact that Arad is going to be fighting Moto or pushing Moto isn't helping him at this stage right now.
Yep, and it does look like Aradhya is comparatively a lot more, like it's a visible difference in the tire wear there. So I think if Moto has if there is this much huge difference, then Moto is he might be able to pull out a hard, soft kind of strategy there if he's able to wait for a safety car. He does have a lot of options, but we should be seeing the hard runner spit in this lap, at the end of this lap, that is the lap 17. We'll see if there is any strategy change between then, and Aradhya goes a bit wide over there. Looks like he is losing the grip of his tires. But yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, I think he's just like you stated, the tires are just starting to die over, and now it's the time for these guys to pit. Again, it's all about everyone's gonna ask the question, how far back am I gonna be pushed off when Nodesh is currently out on those new hard tires and setting up those lap times. So that's what everyone is thinking, how quickly should I go on to those mediums, because those mediums will heat up quite quickly. It's not like you're switching on hards. So it's just a matter of who's got more experience in managing these medium tires right now.
Yes, definitely. Very well said.
And we see Aradhya getting again closer to Moto. unfortunately just not ready to send a dive or ready to break late at that stage just to try something. And Moto probably wants to refrain from doing anything silly at this stage of the race, probably aims at trying to go for an undercut as well, because it will turn out, if this undercut works well, at least guarantee a P2 for Radha Gupta. But both of them pit right now. Now it's a battle of teams. Now it's a battle of who can get the better pit stop done. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at both these boys. It's Red Bull that goes in first, puts on a good stop. Both of them are come out, and Moto is still ahead of Aradia. That's still good news for Moto, as that would have been devastating to lose uh, a position in the pits.
Yes.
And Logesh, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
and Logesh now ahead of Moto and Aradia by a second. Give me 1 second. Let me see how far. Yep, I was hoping for a bit more, but Logesh seems to just be 1 second off Moto. So it seems like there's not going to be much of a battle considering how good these medium tires will be at this stage of the race. Blacksheep still on the 17 lap hard is hoping now for a safety car, but again, simply Moto just goes a little wide into turns 5 and gives Aradia a better run, and Aradia goes for a move around the outside. Everything is worked out very well for Aradia. The one mistake from Moto has let Aradia retain the P2 as of this moment and gives Aradia the best chance to get this win. And it looks like Moto is slipping a little here on this medium stint, or at least for the first few laps.
Yeah, there is no room for error in this tier. Definitely, you cannot afford to make any mistake here. And Blacksheep decides to pit for those fresh mediums for sure. And we do have a TRS kind of trained in the middle pack. That is where Mike Eitzel is there. It's led by the blue flag. The lapped car of Propi, but it's definitely gonna give the advantage to 8 cylinders for the DRS. So, but the dirty air, yeah, let's not.
Yeah, I think Propi has to give that
Yeah,
position up.
yeah,
He
yeah.
just can't be doing that. Otherwise, he'll just get reported. And Logesh is being passed by Radhe. So we have a surprise contender for the win here. And it looks like it's Radhe Gupta, considering the Moto still has that penalty. This has gotten even more spicy. And Moto right now with DRS and ERS has gotten the move on Logesh, and there's nothing Logesh can do about that. Unfortunately, the tire strategy for Logesh did not work out as he planned, and he's just not capable of finding pace at this stage with these tires on.
Yeah, definitely. It does look like that medium to hard strategy didn't really work out well. But it's probably the other thing could be that he might have some sort of skill issue, probably. But we cannot, confirm on anything. And Trophy gets 3-second time penalty for exceeding the track. So
While we were speaking,
behind.
and that is Eitzel going for the fastest lap, and let's scratch that out because Moto is now on another fast lap as well. So we've gotten 3 fast laps and 4 fast laps in the span of a few seconds. It looks like all the hard runners are setting faster laps on that medium tires. This medium tires are now switched on. And again, Moto getting ever so close to Aradia is getting enough pace in those corners, but quite critically losing on a lot of pace because of his ERS, and that's what Aradia has on Moto right now. Is that Aradia's been managing his ERS quite well, and Moto unfortunately, because of 2 mistakes, has gotten his position challenged, his win challenged at this stage. But as we mentioned, the championship, it looks like Blacksheep is not having a good one today. He's in P5 at ABD. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he did have a good run until he had the spin there, and even King James was able to, keep him behind him for more than couple of laps there. And after that, his hards had been like probably burned out, and he wasn't able to get back to his pace there. But now he does have fresh mediums, and he's gonna have to use the DRS one simply, and just get a slingshot by him and just catch up to probably Logesh. He can definitely catch up to Logesh if things go out well. Yeah.
Definitely, I think Lokesh is probably going to look at getting his P3 stolen by Blacksheep. Blacksheep can maintain that pace, and it looks like for the next few laps, the medium drivers the one, and Blacksheep again gets the slingshot of Simply Whitey, as you mentioned, ABD, and just an easy move for Blacksheep as he gets clear of the AlphaTauri by the end of turn 5. And yep, Moto still there right behind Aradia, simply again overtakes Blacksheep as well, returns the favor, but they both touch this contact on the ground, and simply has to yield because Blacksheep just decided to brake a bit more heavily than simply expected, and there was contact with the front right of Blacksheep and the rear left of Simply YT. Your thoughts on that, ABD?
Yeah, that was very close call, but simply did control his car really well. It looked like he did his steering went on to the right, but he did control his car very well. He's still in that DRS range, so he does have the DRS also. So the move can be done again. He can definitely go for that move once more. And here we have Moto, aggressive Moto is what I would like to say, because he has been using his ERS whenever he does have like 10% ESP. We have seen him spam the ERS, and he's not just ready to save it. We do have that say that you should have the ERS above 30% so that your engine efficiency is up to 100%. But it looks like
there's contact. Sorry, there's contact between Moto and Arathi, and they were getting way too close, and unfortunately, Moto couldn't avoid that. And it looks like he's got front wing damage on the top right. Moto has front wing damage that's going to cost him a lot, and I wonder what happened right there. ABD, did you get a good look at that?
Yes, I did. It looked like Arathia took the curb and he did slow down a bit, but Mono was unable to react to that probably, and I'm not. It looks like his right wing is flipped, I believe, right?
Yeah. That is flipped. That is definitely a little broken. So it'll cost him a bit and maybe a few tenths, but considering he has a penalty, that's not something he wants right now. And I wonder how that's going to affect his entire race at this stage. Because that's just completely unfortunate for Moto right there. That's something that he didn't want, but it looks like Aradhya might be a potential challenger for the win here today.
Yeah, the ERS management from him has been really well, and it looks like Moto has been, trying to bait out with the ERS light. We did see him do that against Logesh. So when Logesh had 50% of ERS, his light was blinking, and he did bring him down to 30% of ERS, and he was still ahead of it. Like he was basically making the driver behind him think that he doesn't have the ERS, and like be urging them to use that ERS, and we have the yellow flag second time because of SSA. He's probably gonna pit. Oh no, he does spin.
Wait, is that safety car? Safety car?
Yeah, it's a safety car out in lap 23, and everyone is gonna go for the fresh soft right now. Sir SSA doesn't have the front wing, it's no wing, so he is definitely gonna pit. This was the second time he spun in 2 laps, lap 22 and 23. At the same
Aradhya doesn't pit. Aradhya stays out. And now Moto has pitted and Lokesh has pitted. They're both on softs.
Yeah,
There's nothing Aradhya is gonna do. That
a
is
blind pit stop, I would
completely.
say. Yeah, it's a blind pit stop. You just have to pit. You just have to pit first off. There's no question. There's no doubt about not pitting or staying out because you have about 5 laps of racing easily out there, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure what Aradhya has in his mind, but yeah, he has to stay out on those mediums now.
Yeah, this is oh, and oh my, yeah, this has changed the complexion of the race. More so, it's also favored Logesh here because he desperately needed that safety car. And now that Moto still has that 30-second time penalty, this is Logesh's chance to bring the most from it.
Yeah, very well said. Yep. I'm not
Yeah,
sure why Aradhya did not bet. We did see something like this in earlier today in Tier 2 race where Ritesh decided not to pit, where and the safety car did come out at the same lap. It was around lap 22, 23, and he was on hards, and he ended up losing 6 positions after the safety car restart. So
yeah,
I'm
and
not
just
sure what to
look at that.
expect.
Moto is right behind him. This
Yep.
is this is Abu Dhabi 2021 all over again. Used tires versus. Oh, it gets a bit close there
That was
for
nice.
Moto and Aradhya. And Moto does he have a fresh wing? Let's see. Can we take one look at the wing? I don't think he has because that would have taken a lot of. Yeah, he
Yeah, he
does
didn't.
not.
He didn't.
Yeah, that would have taken a lot of time out of his pit stop as well. So it's probably smart to not, not get this wing. Oh wait, what? What?
Oh,
No, no. This
he's gonna
is
get his
not.
wing chase. No, you shouldn't have done that, Moto.
I.
It's
This
not
is not
worth it.
good.
It's not worth it.
Oh my.
Probably is disqualified overtaking the safety car for sure. He has
I.
overtaken the safety car. He tried to unlap himself. I was keeping an eye on him. I really thought because he did
Damn.
not fit, and I was for sure thinking that he would definitely try to put that move, and he is disqualified for trying to overtake the safety car there.
Yeah, I mean, Moto. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what the decision-making process was, but he's now in P8
Yeah,
uh,
can we go on board Moto now?
with 3 seconds.
He definitely has to have the fresh, yeah, the fresh wings
Yeah,
up there, the
fresh
new
wing.
wings. Yep.
Is there any chance the AI took control and forced him to pit or something? Because that's the only thing that'll explain his decision there.
Yeah,
Because
so
Moto just gave some positions. I understand he would be slower in the corners, but my man is still a fast racer here, and he still would have gotten a podium out of this. But I guess we'll see the benefits of this decision come up later in the race once he catches up, once they all catch up. And now the safety car is just waiting um, on the Haas driver to catch up with his broken wing and his broken car essentially. Regardless, Aradhya, the only man on the
medium.
track with the mediums on, and we still will have few more laps of racing where in Logesh, Blacksheep, Simply, and Itzel all are in contention for the win here. None of them have penalties. Every single one of them is about to send it as soon as the safety car comes in. And we're going to have a spectacular end to this race, Emily. Are you excited?
Yes, definitely. But it looks like the safety car is going to keep out, and Arhatia will be the one who will be most happy about it. The more number of laps the safety car is out, the less number of DRS races we will have, and I think as of now it will be the last lap there where we'll have the
Mhm.
DRS enabled, and it's just basically because of Sir SSA Assassin who could not make to catch the queue there. And very well, very good question asked by you, Hap. But the thing is about Moto's wing. The thing about the 22 game is if you have a very mild wing damage, the your race engineer doesn't suggest you to get it replaced here actually. So this would have been done in 2021 game. It would have been a blind strategy pull out from your race engineer. But in this latest game, you do not have the latest strategy if you have a mild, very mild damage actually. Yeah. So I'm guessing Moto did move that. I'm guessing that he did. on basis of his confidence that he has, he can gain up all those positions. But he probably did not anticipate that the safety car would be out for one more lap. So he will definitely have just one lap to overtake. I don't know, maximum probably 2 or 3 people, and he does have that 3 second time penalty there.
Yeah, and again, confirming a few things, it looks like Assassin has gotten one last chance on his race to get actually give decent result here, because he's been making some mistakes and has been able to catch that safety car now, and he has a good chance of trying to bring the fight up to the bigger contenders here. But now the safety car is will be coming in this lap, and Radhya just has to get ready for the next 3 laps, because the next 3 laps will be pain. And I understand that DRS won't be activated for drivers, but DRS is not all about racing. It's more about tire wear, and it looks like Aradhya is going to face a lot of issues with that, considering that the softs are generally the correct tire to be on right now. And let's see when Aradhya goes for it. Can we be on road Aradhya? And it looks like Aradhya's gone, and the race has started. Logesh gets a fantastic run on Aradhya, and it looks like he might send it down on the inside into turn 1 as well. He's just gotten ever so closer, but Aradhya defends that inside line, and now he's gotten it switch back. Almost Logesh gets the move done.
Damage, that was very close for him.
Yeah,
Damage.
definitely, but you can see how far Aradhya is suffering for grip. Will he be able to? And Logesh sends one on the inside. Quite a remarkable dive there, but Aradhya still managing to keep himself. And Logesh spins. No, Logesh just gets a very bad exit out of the corner and loses 3-4 positions. 3 positions, and simply winding on the podium position. This is getting interesting, and it still goes for a move. What a remarkable move from Eitzel there as well. These 4 boys are not disappointing us right now, as we see Blacksheep simply and Eitzel all circle around Aradhya like sharks on bait.
Yep, and Moto's race goes from bad to worse. We have Sir Assassin who spun again, and there's Moto even he's also wide off the track. Moto has a 6 second time penalty now, and he's down to P10. That is the last as of now. Simply YT somehow having the consistency, and there is ERS light of Akash already. I'm not sure how that is possible within 1 lap. Cannot able to. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure why his life is flashing that he does have 78%. It's probably because of the damage there that he has on the rear end.
Yeah, probably that's why the sensors are going off. But we see again the moves done. But King James seems like he could be fighting that position as well. And again, Blacksheep in very good contention. And important thing to note, if Blacksheep can get this win, which was highly unlikely by the end of lap 5, 6, 7, he's still in contention to bring it to SD in the championship fight, because Moto is an unfortunate race by the looks of it. Oh, and Aradhya again. Blacksheep just getting closer, and Blacksheep will have one chance to get a move done against Aradhya, and this one chance will come once DRS is activated by the end of the final lap. So it's the last lap shootout. It is. Oh, and Eitzel and simply just looks like simply
inside and simply did not seem
leave
something.
space.
It did leave, just like less amount of space it was, and Lokesh is gonna pounce on that mistake from Eitzel, and he goes up to P4 now. But does he have enough time for to overtake Simply right now? But right now, what Blacksheep has to do is he has to conserve all of his ERS till the DRS. Till he basically has to make the move in the second DRS zone, and that is all he has to do. He needs to conserve his ERS as of now.
All right, we're on the final lap, and now let's see what Blacksheep can do. Will he go for a Max Verstappen next move in turn 5? Will he demand? And why are we focusing on Logesh when we're about to see an overtake from Lee? Thank you. And again, like I said, Blacksheep getting DRS, getting ERS. Aradhya's going to suffer against everything, because he's going to see Blacksheep closing up on his mirrors. I see Aradhya just maintaining his line, but Blacksheep not going for any move. He just wants to get a better exit into turn 6. And he does, and he's going to probably go for a move around the inside or the outside. What does he choose? What does he choose? And it's the outside here. Blacksheep has taken the lead, and there's nothing Arazi can do about it. Blacksheep is currently in P1, and now he just needs to maintain his car for the last few corners. I have to say, though, Arazi has managed this race quite well, considering he's on worn mediums, but there's nothing that he can do compared to the sheer might of the soft tires that Blacksheep is on right now. And Blacksheep comes around to the final corners, and he's going to take the win here at Abu Dhabi today. And that is it for Blacksheep. An amazing race, an amazing result.
Yep, followed by Aradia for P2. Simply White he gets to the podium position. P3 there, Aitzil making another mistake there. Somehow he was able to defend against Akash, who ends up P5. Logesh having a spin in the last lap ends up P6. And there we have Rijin P7, followed by his teammate King James, who was about a second below and on P8. And then our harsh driver, Sir SSD Assassin, and finally Moto, who finishes. Would it finish? But we do not see the checkered flag on him.
Yeah, I think.
Drive another lap. Did he pit? Can we have the tire data? 2 laps. So he did pit. He's gonna go for the fastest lap. He's going for the fastest lap. The race is not over, folks. We have migrating host there. The race is not over. Moto
I think for the host it's over. And Moto just not yielding at this stage of the race. He's gonna steal the fastest lap from someone. And if there's one man who steals one extra point, it's probably Moto here. He's been a bit unlucky with this race here, and he's taking his frustration out on the fastest lap here. As you can see, he's gotten extremely quick sectors in the first two. Sectors, he's probably hinting at something close to it. 120.
Car gonna block him right now. Oh my God! The moment of truth is gonna be ghosted. We don't know, but Moto does have 2 purple sectors, and is it 1 point down the train? The speed is gonna be very close there. It looks like his car is ghosted right now, and he's slowing down.
And he's getting a split stream because of it.
And now
what?
The race was over.
Damn. We just watched AI go for the fastest lap here. What is happening? I'm confused.
Is this what purgatory feels like? Just endless repetition.
Oh, fuck. Oh, and Moto goes for a move on Rijin. That's an amazing move for Moto, and he gets P7.
Why is there no checkered flag on this side? Gonna keep driving all night.
The game is giving him 21 seconds to gain all his positions back. That's it. This is the F1 God's favoring him.
So yes, we can move. But we do need the races, so we will be waiting.
Yeah, we will get it. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Yeah, the time is about it. And he's gotten Blacksheep, is that? Yep, Blacksheep. He's P1. It's confirmed. Moto wins the championship.
And the timer is down to 0.
Oh my God. What is happening? Moto, if you can hear us, can you just give a spectacular crash right now, please?
And potentially the last corner.
Yeah, potentially being the key word. It's been the last corner since the last few laps.
He's still going.
This is not fair. We are making him race 31 laps. Just because you like him,
Oh my
because
God.
you watch him drive doesn't mean you keep on
Yes.
making.
He's lapping AI cars. That seems like F1 purgatory too.
Season.
Can we actually see? Is this AI or is this actually Moto going for
Maybe
it?
it's too fast to be AI, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, that Moto
Let me
is just
Let
going.
me get the info. Just give me 1 second.
What is happening, man? I'm confused. Right
Yeah, I've
now.
never seen this before. I mean, This is
I
insane.
mean, yikes. Yep. Yeah. I guess the game just wants to watch Moto Moto race then. Moto Moto race is F1 cars. Can we actually keep a track of how many overtakes he's made? He's actually catching up to them back again.
Keep a
Yep.
track of who?
How many overtakes he's made already? I think he's made has overtaken everyone once.
Yeah, the whole field I think it's done.
Yeah, so
I
we do
think.
have info. Moto is on AI.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck,
How
okay.
do
There's
we
the
end this then?
confirmation there. I guess we'll have to do the hard thing. Just let it go, and alter for the game.
Okay, so we can just take the
Let's.
results from this standing and then we can directly move on to podiums, I guess.
Yep, definitely we can go for the podium interviews right
Well,
now.
how about this then? So just go on to settings and make sure the time gap is in intervals so that we actually catch that information. Check the interval time gap.
Yeah, we are on
Oh yeah,
intervals
yeah.
now.
How about check the race directory as well? Just get it. All the information from the race directory right now before we move on. All the incidents, all the pit stops, they'll be recorded here, right? So we don't need to wait for the end screen.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get you.
that works, I guess.
So you want to go through the incidents?
No. Yeah, just go through it
Yeah,
once.
even the incidents would be better.
Yeah, alright, so let me...
Yeah, done.
Which
Yeah, they're
one do I
done.
pick?
No. It's fine. We just wanted to record all the incidents just
Alright.
to keep a record with us.
Yep.
Oh,
Could you go
got you.
back once?
Yeah.
Could you go back?
To the race?
Yeah, to the race once. I just want to check one thing. Oh yeah, so we are at interval. Okay, so it's 18 seconds. Yeah, perfect. That's all I guess we want, right? Anybody
Yep.
else?
Yep. This is all
Yeah.
info we needed.
Mhm.
Let's go to podium interviews.
Before that, let me just give you a big heads up on the position. So again, it's
Yes.
Blacksheep P1, Aradhya P2, Simply P3, 8sil P4, Akash Sanavane P5, Lokesh P6, Regin P7, King James P8, Sir SSJ Assassin P9, and quite controversially Motomoto P10, but that is yet to be confirmed, and Nomo Supreme P11.
Yep, let's go to podium interviews. We do have our top three finishers. That is Black Sheep on P1, Aradhya P2, Simply YT. Over to you, Hapya.
All right, okay. Let me just quickly. Right, let's start with Simply YT. Right, P3 Simply, a pretty good result considering how at the start of the race everything changed with the safety car, and you were on top of it. You were actually on top of the DRS train as well. One of the key contestants in that DRS train where you're fighting King James, Black Sheep, and 8sil continuously. So give us some round of information on what was happening with that DRS train and what happened once you saw the safety car.
Well, obviously, I was my strategy was because I'm not really catching up to Black Sheep, and because 8sil was closing, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just go with an undercut and then see what happens from there. And then I pitted onto mediums, and then I actually pulled off the undercut, and then of course the safety car coming out was kind of a blessing for me. But until later, I didn't know that Aradhya was on medium, so I was actually kind of skeptical about should I pit or not. But then seeing that Aradhya was staying out, I decided to pit onto softs, and clearly that was a good strategy.
Yep, definitely, and it worked out quite well for you. P3 is not a bad result, and considering you don't even have force feedback, so you were able to match the pace of
Yep.
Black Sheep for that long and keeping yourself ahead of all the misfortunes of everyone around you. Pretty good race result there, something. Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, of course, it's not easy to do it without force feedback, and I don't really practice much either because, of course,
Yes,
it's a pain.
definitely. We do have one more follow-up question for you. Let's talk about the middle of the race, around lap 13 to 19, where you were in the mid pack, basically in the DRS train, along with 8sil, Richen, and Kim James, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh, we did see some, wheel bumping there. Could you elaborate what was actually happening throughout those laps? It did go on for 4 laps, I believe.
I mean, it's racing, so stuff is bound to happen. I mean, I was just trying to make up positions, defend my position, and then while attacking and defending, stuff happens. So I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, and a lot of cars did spin, including yours. I actually was hoping that you could answer about that. What happened there?
I mean, other cars spinning, I can't speak for them because, of course, I don't know what was happening with them. For me, of course, as I said, no FFB, so I can't deal with, I don't exactly know when my car's losing grip, but yeah.
Yep. So that is all from my side for simply. Anything from yours?
No, no, there's nothing from me. I think that's the end of it. Let's move on to Aradhya. How about ABD? You start with Aradhya here.
Yes, Aradhya. First of all, I believe the commentator should apologize for him. We all thought that you sticking on mediums was probably the worst move in this race. But you did manage to, lose just one position. But do you think you would have finished P1 if you had pitted for softs in the
Yeah,
during the race?
definitely. I feel like I could have pitted. In that situation, I just, like it. I was like just so confused too, and like thinking about losing too much track position if other guys didn't pit. Like I was having that thought in my mind, and like I was like, I just I don't want to get back involved into pack again and potentially get damaged and lose more positions. So that's why like I decided to stay out and yeah, to a see, but yeah, and I am also surprised that I only managed to lose one position. I have no idea what happened to Moto because he pitted again behind me. But yeah, that was I will also say that was the one of the dumbest moves that anybody could have made in that situation.
Yep.
I will also say
Okay.
myself.
Okay,
Okay.
so a
Yeah.
little sorry, ABD, but a little context here. So apparently, Aradhya, while Moto was racing you, at one point there was contact between your Moto and Moto had a bit of wing damage, so he had to pit to get that repaired.
Yeah, but it really was a very mild damage. So whatever Aditya said is also fine. But
True,
uh,
true.
yeah, very good results from you, Aratya. Great to see you here again on the podium. Congrats for that. Any questions from your side?
I don't think there's any questions. I think Aradhya really had a good race, considering Moto was fastest on track, but Aradhya was one of the few drivers on track. That was consistently good on his strategy and his stints. So that's probably why one of the reasons he was a very good contender for the win. Unfortunately, until the safety car came out, that it changed a bit from there. So
Yeah,
still, Aradhya, a
that's
good
fine.
race from you, and again, congratulations on your podium. It would have been better to see you again fight till the end for that win, but it's still a very good effort from you. Okay.
Moving on to our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix winner, Blacksheep. Congratulations on your win. So you have been in the mid pack and even in the top front runners. Talk us through what happened throughout the race.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting the win, especially after I spun. I think from the start, I was hoping, I kind of expected to be up there at the top, either of the top three. But then when I spun, there's just a huge amount of time lost. I think I fell back around 11 or 12 seconds from Moto and Logesh. So it was basically, yeah, quali laps after that, one after another. Had to defend from, I think, an Aston and Simply for quite a while, and that basically after the spin, that cost me a lot of my ERS, so it was down to 0 pretty much. And then it was, I think, from lap 11, 12 onwards until the pit window, it was just harvesting ERS pretty much, keeping guys behind. I kind of knew towards after the pit stop that maybe P3 was to play for. I think before the safety car came out, there was still 6 or so laps to go, and I think Logesh was about 5 odd seconds ahead. So I thought P3 was possible, but obviously safety car helped a lot in closing that gap. I didn't know Aradhya was on mediums right until I think the lap before the safety car came in. Just didn't notice. I would have expected him to be on the softs.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yes, definitely. We all did believe that it was a blind move to go for the softs there. And yeah, it was King James of Aston Martin who you were battling it for quite a few laps there. It was a really close battle throughout the race. Did you have a contact with him with some mild damage?
No, I had a spin.
Right.
I think in the first stint, I was behind Logation Motor, and I think lap 4 or something, four or 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spun coming out of under the hotel, so
Yeah.
I fell back to P6 or something, I think.
Yeah.
And I suddenly realized King James and Simply were pretty much in my DRS, so all the ERS had to be deployed because I couldn't afford to, lose more time going behind these guys. Fell back a little bit, and then it was just frustrating, basically. So I had to build up a lot of ERS after that.
Yep, great race, great results for Williams. It's either you or SD who has been finishing on the pole
I think
position.
WCC is ours now.
Yeah, I do believe it is you
I think it
for
is
sure. Yep,
ours.
yep. You've done a
Nice one.
great job this race. So congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
And let's ask the burning question now, Blacksheep. Your teammate was unfortunately not there today, and he's been leading the championship for a while now. You've gotten
Yes.
a huge points to tally on him with this race. Are you going to bring it with the World Travis Championship right now, or is it going to be some team orders there for Williams there to
No, there are no
secure?
team orders. We will just do whatever we can do. We both wanted to secure the constructors, which I think we have done. So it's just fun in games from here. Let's see. I mean, it's good to think that I maximized my points personally when SD wasn't here. But then there have been instances where I haven't raced and, SD's been able to score big points, like in Australia, for example. So, happens. Let's see. 2 more races to go. And SD and I both are not drivers who don't make any mistakes. We both have made quite a few, maybe me more so. So, yeah, I'm not gonna make any predictions from my end. Let's try and do our best.
Yeah, definitely. And again, congratulations on your win. It was a one hell of a lap, I must say. By the end of it, it was pretty much something on the edge of Verstappen versus Lewis in 2021.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be silly. I knew a lot of people would think that I'll do what Max did and just get the move done straight away on soft tires. But mediums are only gonna gain temperature and become quicker anyway. So there's no point getting the move done straight away on someone like Aradhya, probably the quickest guy around this track. So I thought sensibly, let's just stay behind this guy, wait for DRS. It's going to be on in the final lap, and it'll be easy. So
Definitely. All right, then I think that's it for me. ABD, is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, definitely no.
All right, then I think that concludes it for our podium interviews. I think that's the end of it. Again, I'd like to thank all of our viewers for sticking with us till the end of the stream. That is it for us here at IRC with regards to our Tier 1 race here at Abu Dhabi. We still have 2 more to go, and the championship is getting ready to be is getting closer and closer. So our 2 leaders in our championship are now getting ready for the final battle. 2 more races left. Join us for the penultimate race next week here at IRC, and that's it from our Tier 1 boys. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.